and welcome to the third segment of Sister Chat, Sister Talk. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Wanted to let you know I have my sisters with us. So this evening that we're all together, we're gonna take the next hour, just sit down, relax, and because we're here to support you. So we have our sister Stacy Holmes is with us, but we have a special sister with us tonight. Monica, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey there! Well, thanks, Sister Kinette. I am so excited to be on board with Sister Talk today. What a pleasure. So I'm Monica Warren, for those of you who don't know. I've been a ward member for, 15 years, easy. Raised my children in ward that are now 22 and 20 and have really enjoyed being a part of the ward community AME church. So I am excited to be able to share here tonight.
Amen.
We're so happy to have you. Lady Sister Anita will be joining us tonight. She's got some work conflicts, but she'll be with us at our next segment in 2 weeks. So let's get to it. Ladies, reality. So now that we're in the early stages of phase 2, did anyone visit any businesses that reopened? Like any of the small businesses that reopened? Anybody go to anything this week?
For me, I didn't really go anywhere other than a nice, quaint flower shop that wasn't too far from the house. I did get a chance to do that. Wanted to make sure I got some fresh flowers and support the community.
How was that? What was your experience like when you were in the flower shop?
It was different because really, I could select and share with the store owner what I want. They didn't want a lot of walking. They didn't want a lot of people in there. So I kind of selected and then went by the curbside to kind of have them gather it and exchange me and take me out the store. So definitely a different experience, a new normal, if you will.
Did you feel pretty comfortable?
No. I'm gonna be one of those slow adopters in all of this. So I did it because I wanted to support the community, but no, I wasn't. It was a little frightening.
Okay. What about you, Stacy?
I didn't go to any small businesses, really. Well, not at all this week. I supported small businesses, however. I did some online shopping from some companies prior to being able to go out and visit the businesses. I have been supporting, I take that back, I have been supporting some small business restaurants, specifically a restaurant that's run by a friend of mine who's a sister, and just helping to make sure they stay afloat. So no, I didn't go anywhere this week with things lifted, but yeah, I kind of just continue doing what I've been doing. We did go out to the beach, however, when those reopened.
What?
Yeah, so yeah.
We went to see. How was your experience at the beach?
A lot of people, but people were mostly obeying the social distancing mandate, staying 6 feet apart or staying in their groups, not really interfering with anyone else's family. So you don't feel, because I guess it's an open area, you don't really feel like it's so bad. Okay. And I was pretty comfortable. I could visit the beach again. I can see myself visiting the beach more often.
Now, were you guys walking? When you guys were in your car, did you guys kind of walk?
We got out and walked. Yeah, so we walked all the way to the shore. Of course, we went at night because we wanted to see the bioluminescence.
Oh, that's nice.
So we did go at night to see that, which is absolutely beautiful. Just to be able to see God's incredible nature is just awesome. And there were a lot of people who were doing the same thing as we were. So.
Well, my thing is, I didn't really go anywhere. I did kind of like what you did, Stacy and Monica. I went to a family-owned business that we had gone to before they had closed up, and now instead of the mother owning it, the mother sold it to the nephew. And so the nephew reopened it and, kind of tweaked the menu. So we kind of supported, that business a couple times. But I think the interesting thing for me is so many people are not wearing masks.
Yeah, that's what's scary for me.
Yeah, there's so many people that like are walking around and not wearing masks. I mean, even when we went to this business, and it's pretty small, and there were like all of the workers were wearing masks, but one of the owners was there who was giving directions. She didn't have a mask on. She was sitting like out, and she didn't have a mask on, and she had one of her family members there. They didn't have a mask on, and it just blew me away.
Wow. Do you think people are not taking this seriously? Why do you think that is?
I don't think they're taking it seriously, because when I drive home every day, I go down, if I get off the freeway, because we're essential business, so we're still working, and I go down the side street, there's a lot of foot traffic, because in my area where I live, there's a lot of folks with families, but they're walking around, they don't have a mask on, their kid doesn't have a mask on. They're walking, and I'm hearing them, talk to their neighbors and say, oh, whatever with their neighbor. They don't have a mask on either. So they're not even sharing living space, and they're not wearing masks. So yeah. Did you see that a lot, Stacey, too? Like when you guys were walking around, or when you went to the small business that you were at?
Yes, a lot of people not wearing masks. But then I saw a lot of people wearing masks. So in our neighborhood, a lot of the people are just happy to be around other people. And so to be respectful and considerate of those other people, they're wearing their masks. Now, I don't think it's for any other reason for a lot of people, except for being respectful and considerate. I think a lot of people would much rather not wear the mask.
Mm-hmm. But isn't that what we all should do? I mean, be each other's brother's keeper and respect each other. And at the end of the day, if we don't care about being sick, ultimately we should care about others. I know Keith and I walk every morning to Kinette or in the area, and we always have our masks. And there are some people that have it, and they're very respectful. Whenever you come within that 6 feet, distance, they pop up their mask in respect of you. And then there are others that don't care. So
yeah,
it's pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
Bizarre to see it. At this rate, I think we're going to be shut down for a lot longer. Unfortunately. Yeah. We're going to keep extending this out, okay?
I know. It's just like, I want to so badly say to someone, you're going to make it longer. You're going to make us stay home longer.
Yes.
But I don't know if you guys saw in the paper, we're a little off topic, but I don't know if you saw in the paper, and it was the news yesterday, the day before, the Target by my house, there was an altercation because these two brothers did not have masks. And so, they basically, waited till they got to the door and then assaulted the Target worker, and the security guard. There was a huge fight, about that. So, the crazy thing is just that there's, they were escorted out the store. If you would have got, the thing is, if they just would have got a mask, they could have came back.
Right.
But to me, it's like silly to respond in that way to people not wearing masks, because now you're even more in their space than you were just turning the other way and walking away. I might have had to say something, but I wouldn't have been getting closer.
Right. And now they both have been arrested. Right. I think like $50,000 bail, for nothing, for a mask that you could, they're selling them on the street corner for $5.
Yes. It's not like they're
not, they're not.
They haven't price gouged. Well, they haven't price gouged the mask on the corners yet.
No, not yet.
I did pay $8 for one that had Dodgers on it for my husband, though. He had to be fly. He had to have the Dodger one.
Wow.
Well, I went and, because I'm going to work every day, I went and bought a bunch of masks, which Yeah, well, I just, I bought whatever color that, that they had in stock because they're, they're washable and they're dry by morning, but it just got to be too much of like a hassle just to, go home, wash a mask every night, make sure it dries out, and it got to be just another level of stress.
Well, I do have a mask trick though.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a lot of men don't like this too much, but take your mask, take a panty liner, stick your an unused panty liner on the inside of the mask, and then you have a filter. You have a filter.
No, because of the elastic, because of the adhesive, it doesn't move.
Right, it doesn't move. It keeps anything from getting in, and of course, it keeps a lot of stuff from not getting out.
Okay.
I'm just hey.
Okay. That's our hack.
It works.
That's our hack for this week.
Yes, that's your hack. Panty liners come in handy when you can't find wipes and hand sanitizer and disinfectant spray. You can always find some always.
That's
yep,
right.
You sure can. You sure can.
Definitely. I have a mask now that doesn't have a filter. I know what I'm going to do.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here on Sister Talk. Sister Stacy.
Yes.
Stacy made a host.
Mask too.
Yes.
But on a more serious note, did anybody listen to Sterling K. Brown's commentary on Ahmaud Aubrey? Anybody listen to that?
I haven't had a chance to listen.
It's super sad. It is. Yeah, I mean, it just, he just talked about, how it made him feel when he heard the news and just how, he just basically had a stream of consciousness that was extremely emotional and very raw. Just how, he felt about that. And, yeah, I mean, how do you all feel about that? What's like one word that you can use to describe how you feel about what happened to Ahmaud Aubrey, his murder?
Well, my one word is disgusted. Just absolutely disgusted.
Yeah, disenfranchised. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Just sickening.
Mm-hmm.
So sad.
Well, my one word is when. And my one word is when. Is because when is this all gonna stop? When are we as a people gonna be more valued or gonna be valued? It's not even more.
Right.
When are we as a people going to be valued, by the society that we live in, that we contribute to the per capita, that we are contributing to citizenship, that we are working in this community, contributing. Why, when are we going to be valued? So when is my word.
And it's so hurtful because you don't know what to teach your kids. You want to teach them to be good citizens and to respect authority, but at the same time, you have to teach them to defend themselves and their character, but in a way that won't get them killed. And how do you teach them that? Because you get killed just for doing anything, just for being Black.
Right.
And that's the sad part. Like, how do you guide your kids and how do you create some level of understanding that you always have to be on guard?
Right. And I think
that's really the sad thing about, Black America. I mean, to your point, Sister Kinette, I mean, here we are, the foundation of America was built on the backs of slaves and on the backs of Africans and Americans. And we have done so much for this country as it relates to inventing, science and the news releases, and ultimately at the end of the day, contributing in so many factors. And yet, and then we even have a president of the United States is Black, and yet we often feel consistently disenfranchised, like we're not a part of it. I mean, who are these essential workers that have been working? Who are these frontline employees that are working? Who are these individuals getting sick? disproportionately amount, in war, whether it's this chemical war right now we're dealing with or the regular war, but continually we are just always looked as.
No, I think you're absolutely
not the same. And it's sad. It's really sad because, to your point, Stacey, how do you raise your kids? I've always raised my kids. You got to be, twice as good just to be accepted. Absolutely. And here this gentleman here, young man walking around, running, being athletic, doing something productive and healthy for himself, and just unbelievable.
Right. It's sad. But the flip side of that is the dark side of the penny that we don't always talk about, is how we are racist towards our own people. We have, there's some, we bear some responsibility on how, we treat how we treat each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
I can remember just as a child that I was picked on, I was bullied because I spoke proper English and I was lighter skinned. So I was better than everybody thought I felt that I was better than everyone, and that she likes to act like she's white.
Yeah.
Where does, and that's in middle school. I mean, I'm sorry, elementary school. Where do those teachings come from,
Right. Well, I know, Monica, you work in corporate America, where you're one of the very few African American upper level management persons. How does that affect you?
I mean, to your point, from an executive perspective, there's many times when I'm in boardrooms, whether that's in headquarters in New York or in front of CEOs here locally and across the West, that I am the only African-American woman and African-American person in a room. And there's a lot of weight that goes to that. And at the end of the day, I think once you're able to speak up, definitely be extremely intelligent and articulate, and they realize that you know what you're talking about, boy, that room changes. But from that instant when you walk in the room and you shake their hand and they realize that you are the individual in charge or the highest ranking employee in the room, it's different initially. So it's just, to your point, I think it's ingrained in us as a nation, as a people, that we're constantly having to prove ourselves first.
Right. And I think you're absolutely right. I don't run across that so much now because I am in senior management. So my picture is on our website. People read my LinkedIn profile, so they're not so surprised, that I'm a person of color. But definitely, as you said, Sister Monica, that shift when they realize, oh, she's running the meeting. I was going to ask.
Yes. Well, I have had situations where I've fallen prey and I've bought into the riffraff of where there's myself and then there's another sister in the room, and we're battling each other for the Black Girl Magic thing. And then I have to catch myself and I have to check myself and I have to say, we shouldn't be battling each other. We should be uplifting each other, because at the end of the day, we're the only two in the room. But yet her weave has to be better than my hair and this, that. And I mean, in our minds, we're playing these same things that we've been programmed since we were younger around in our heads, even when it comes to our own people. So it makes me think how much, if I'm affected like that, where I'm subconsciously having this battle with another sister girl, and I haven't had as many experiences as a lot of other people have, how much are they battling with that whole, situation of, I have to be better than you, how we're programmed. And that's scary to me. No,
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, and it, just like one thing when we had our pre-production meeting, one thing Sister Anita was saying that, oh, you're pretty for a dark-skinned person.
Yeah.
Boy, have I heard that. Okay.
Right. Yeah, or, all Black women are angry. So you have to really make sure that you're very deliberate with your language to make sure. But I think on the more positive note on that, that's where the sisterhood community comes in. I think because if we are not here to uplift ourselves, when you have that bad day and someone keeps trying to slap you down, because they don't value your worth, that's when the sisterhood comes in. That's when you can call your sister friend on the phone. You could call somebody from your church family. You could get in the car and talk to the Lord and tell him, these people, I need some Old Testament justice. What help me get through this next phase, because I'm going to have to deal with this person, ongoing through this project or
right.
Whatever the type of engagement is going to be. So
sisterhood,
it's rough out there for us, sister. I think that's why we
Absolutely.
always have to make sure we stay prayed. Yeah, which is really why I think we gotta stay prayed up. Because it's no joke once you walk out your door.
That's true.
Yeah, and I think that's a great segue into spirituality.
Ooh.
And mindfulness.
Ah.
Yes, meditation and mindfulness. Did any of you all participate in meditation?
I'm just starting
to
get into meditation.
Okay, let me hear from the starter, because I know Stacey does it. Let me hear because I am not doing this, so I am interested in how did you start? Because mine's been in fits and starts, so I'm interested in what you say it, Sister Monica.
So, historically, I'm not a good meditator because I always get lost in that. So literally, my job is all about health, mind, and healthy living. And they literally wanted to promote a 15-minute meditation session during work hours. I loved it. Last Wednesday at 9 a.m. for 15 minutes. We had our health and wellness coaches across the country join. It's about 200 people on the line. I pulled my husband, Keith, and we sat in our living room and literally listened to the meditation session for 15 minutes.
Awesome.
It was extremely hard because, for one, anyone that knows me, I'm running a mile a minute. And it's very hard to kind of stop and not, think about an email or what other project I'm working on a day or what thing I have to do for the morning. And ultimately, it was just about stopping, breathing, concentrating on the in and out breath throughout your nose, and really relaxing. And I got into that zone for the very first time. I was so excited. So Keith and I, we've tried it again a couple times. We were on a walk, we just pulled to the side, got on the hill. We did it for another 10, 15 minutes, and I'm really starting to enjoy it. No, I definitely want to continue doing it.
Okay, that sounds good. Stacey, what about you? I'm
So,
looking
yes.
for tips.
Well, I do meditate, but most of the time when I'm meditating, I am praying. And what I found is that you do kind of get into a zone. And I like to meditate to music. So when I hear music, it's very soothing to me. But my question is more so about a Christian point of view of mindfulness and meditation. A lot of times when Christians hear of mindfulness and meditation, it doesn't have that Christian connection to it. Like, we don't connect those kinds of things with meditation, with Christianity or with being followers of Christ. Like, we don't focus on things other than Christ Jesus. We're not supposed to keep our minds stayed on anything other than Christ Jesus. So it's very hard a lot of times for Christians to come to a point where we're like accepting of the fact that we can stop and we can breathe and we can ground ourselves and we can find ourselves spiritually in a place where we can connect with God. And as a matter of fact, mindfulness just means being aware and just grounding yourself and being in your feelings. And meditation, the Bible speaks of meditation throughout. He tells us to meditate on things that are beautiful, right? He tells us to be mindful of our lives and to live a life that's pleasing to God. So meditation and mindfulness can be a part of your Christian walk and can give you a time to be silent and to hear from God, because usually it's in that stillness where we hear God the loudest.
No, I think you're absolutely right, because if you are not aware of what God has blessed you with, you're not going to be able to take full advantage of your blessings in order to do his will.
Absolutely.
So I really think it's in, and it's, it's work. It's work to be mindful, because you have to, as Monica was talking about, just, because I'm like you, I'm a mile a minute, always going, but just, taking that time, and because I at least try to be, my mind, I try to, be aware of my surroundings, think about my day, how I can be, a blessing to, someone else, during that time. And it makes a difference, especially. And then what I started doing 2 days ago, this will be day 3, is just at the end of the day, kind of taking stock of, what happened, as opposed to, I got to get ready for the next day. I got to think about it. I have this meeting, that meeting, or the counseling stuff, whatever, but taking stock in what you did that day. And not beating yourself up or, over something that, maybe could not have gone the way that it should have, or, that you had a misstep, not beating yourself up, but more of using them as teachable moments. So, okay, I'm not going to beat myself up. I just know that this is something I need to be aware of. I need to be mindful for next time that this situation, presents itself.
Yes. Well, we have
about COVID or C-19 is, I think, more than ever, I've really had, and I think we all have had more time to just stop and reflect. And what I'm noticing is I am taking those extra moments, Sister Kinette, to savor the moments, to appreciate the moments, and be grateful during this time. Because at a time when everything has slowed down, it's just been amazing. And it's just so nice to be able to get up in the morning and take a walk and enjoy the birds chirping in the morning and the beautiful dew, and just to enjoy and savor every single moment. I mean, so that's something that has been a huge reflection or change. I've done it before, but I think I've made a more conscious effort now, as we've been in this kind of COVID-19 environment for the last 2 months.
Right.
Well, Sister Keisha McGee, she stated that she started meditating lately, and she found out that it keeps her balanced, calm, and it keeps her anxiety down. I found that to be true as well, especially now when a lot of people are anxious. I try to be that person that is more balanced, and I use meditation and being mindful or mindfulness to get to that point where I'm the person that's calm, so that I can help to calm others down, that I can be that person that is encouraging and uplifting to others, to get to see the positive. Like, there's always silver lining in everything that God does for us. Like, he never does anything with intent for us to be down and out and depressed and lonely and anxious and worrying. Everything he does for us is for our good. Things like seeing the air is so crisp and clean, and there's no traffic, and just the beautiful, clouds in the sky, noticing things that we've never taken the time to even observe or notice before, the birds chirping in the morning and how beautiful they sound. I mean, simple things that we're noticing now, God's creation and how beautiful it is. And I think that's, a great thing. Diane Kerford, also Sister Diane Kerford, says, mindfulness can be stillness, not talking, not thinking of anything specific. And I agree with her totally. I can just be still and know that he is God and he is taking care of us and he has our best interest at hand. So that's my two.
Preach, sis, preach.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
There you go. Toast is Daisy. So, ladies, I got a question. So
Okay.
with mindfulness and meditation, are you a customer of God? Sister Anita came up with this one too. Are you a customer of God, or are you a co-worker with God?
Chime in out there. Tell us whether you're a customer or a co-worker. Now, be mindful of the fact that the customer is always right. So in your relationship with God, are you the customer or are you a co-worker?
So are you the customer that's waiting on something to happen, or are you the co-worker working with God so something could happen?
See, that was a trick question. Sometimes I find myself being the customer. A lot of times I find myself being the customer. I'm praying to God and I'm telling him what I want. This is what I need for you to do for me. This is what this, that, and this. And then I turn around and do what I want to do. And it's my will and not his will that's being done in my life. So yes, there are often times when I'm the customer, I'm entitled. I want what I want, and that's just it. And God's supposed to give it to me because I'm the customer.
Right.
I'm working real hard at becoming the co-worker and letting God work through me so that I can do the work, his work, for kingdom building and to be pleasing in his sight.
Good deal. Sis, I would agree with you, but I think I have evolved from being that co-worker. Boy, can I remember many times years ago, I read this book, A Purpose-Driven Life, and actually read it with one of my prayer partners and my wow sister, Miss Karen Young-Low, years ago. And that was all about, really what are we driven for? What is our purpose in life? And ultimately, I often remember that as an A personality, I was always wanting to control my life. I wanted to control my destiny. It was always about me. And yes, I would ask our God for what I wanted, but at the end of the day, I was going to do what I wanted to do because, I felt like that was how it should be. But I've evolved to the co-worker with the Lord, because at the end of the day, let God let go, So I really know that if I let go, God will take over. He's in charge. And because of that, that has lifted so much stress, anxiety, and fear out of my life, and just putting it in his hands and walking away from it. So that's clearly one of my favorite songs, and clearly kind of my position on how I manage life.
Amen. Amen.
Well, I think Jocelyn said, so what about a servant?
Oh, okay.
So what about a servant?
What about a servant? Yes, we should all be servants of God. But God, Christ, Jesus, modeled for us how to be a servant. And that's how we should be in our everyday walk, is a servant. So a servant not to God by being a servant to his people. And so yes, Jocelyn, that's great. That's a great thought to put in our heads, that as co-workers, that we are being servants of Christ. And we're being servants of Christ by using his example and walking in his example and trying every day to be more like him in everything that we do.
Oh yeah, I think definitely. I mean, and I think that, I strive always to be, a co-worker with God, but, sometimes I'm a customer. I'm begging, for, some situation and some person to be removed out of my life, as opposed to thinking, maybe, the Lord put that person, that could be the thorn on my side, or the person that's keeping me from doing, fill in the blank, for a reason, maybe that is something that's supposed to be, strengthening my Christian walk, straightening my resolve, or, or just strengthening my tolerance. There could, and I try to, get away from the begging and, oh Lord, I need you to, I need you. Well, he already knows we need, he already knows, he already knows we need him. He already knows that we are nothing without him. So, we have to try to, be a co-worker. And just like Sister Monica said, we have to evolve.
Absolutely.
We have to just, let go. And
well, I'm sorry.
Let him be responsible for that.
I'm just reminded of Pastor's sermon from this Sunday. I opened up my notes. See, Pastor, I took notes. See? And so one of the notes that I took that I'm reminded of during this conversation is sometimes giving God your best, so being a servant or a co-worker of God, will cause you to humble yourself. And what attracted Boaz to Ruth is her humility. And I've had that experience firsthand where doing my own thing and being full of myself and just, I can do it and what's wrong with them and nothing about me. And then having to be humble finally got me to see what God's will was for me. And then God will elevate you once you get to that point. And so getting to that point of just humbling yourself so that you can hear God and you can truly be his servant is like so important in your walk.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And I think, also, what comes with that, why we're being, why we're being co-workers and servants, we also have to encourage, our fellow sisters and brothers, to do that as well. Because as, most women are, have an innate need to nurture, other folks. But, we need nurturing, as well. So I think, it's important for us to just remember, remember our sisters, remember, that, we need to be there, for them as well. And I think another thing is like, while, while you're having, those times of support, you also have to think about, not everybody's going to be in your life forever. People are in your life for a season.
Right. That is right. For a reason and a season.
A reason, and I like that, Sister Monica. A reason and a season.
A reason and a season.
I'm gonna have to remember that. I'm gonna have to remember that. A reason and a season.
And with that, you have to respect that, right? And that, that's God's rule. And certain people, to your point, for those seasons, enjoy them for those moments. And when those seasons are over, you have to let go. Once again, let God, and ultimately realize that is in your divine, order.
That is
Absolutely.
Yes.
Agree with that. Totally agree.
Yeah, that is true. I think another thing that we have to, while we're focusing on meditation and mindfulness, also an awareness, how are, what are we doing to help our kids or help the kids that we know if we don't have any kids at home with us, cope without, being able to go to church every Sunday, and, especially if they're like super active, like in church activities, because they may be looking to us that don't have, children in the house, or that do, just to kind of, maybe give a little break with, maybe some phone calls, or, I would, no drive-bys, no drop-bys, maybe a drive-by, maybe a drive-by, but, what are some of the things, are you all doing anything?
Well, yes, I am with my children. Of course, we are having we're having 6 feet and sandwiches in our front yard. So what we do is we go out front in our front yard and we put the blankets out and take out a grill and make some chicken hot dogs or something like that and play games. And our neighbors come by and sit on our front yard 6 feet away from us so that we can just say hello. So last week we made vision boards with our neighbors. They came by and sat down at 6 feet away from us, of course, respecting and honoring the social distancing mandate. And we made our vision boards, and it was just really nice. It's really nice to have them in your presence. Just something about that presence of other people, or the presence of other people, that just gives you comfort, and just seeing them and being able to see them, even if it's a drive-by, being able to see them gives you some kind of feeling that just kind of makes you feel whole, and gives you a refreshing start, like, okay, I can go on for another couple of days until we meet again.
Right.
Absolutely. I know for our family, and I'm very fortunate, I have 2 adult children, and we're all in the house together. So when we talk about our spiritual walk, Sister Kinette, I'm excited that on Sunday mornings, we're streaming not just Ward AME service, but we're streaming 2 other services. For the first time, we're able to participate in 3 different services all in the morning and we're done like by 1 o'clock. And it's so uplifting. I know when we're doing First Sunday services, we're all having the sacrament together and sharing. And we've even taken it a bit farther now with Bible study and Sunday school online as well. That's been really helpful for us. So if anything, I think once again, this opportunity has really given us a great time to connect as family, to Stacey's point about being connected, and then making sure from a Christian outreach perspective, we're also really more engaged. We're excited about, Wednesday Bible study or getting up early and watching services on Sunday and engaging. And of course, anytime we can be outside, it is really helpful.
Yeah, it does make it nice. It is an opportunity. I think that, I think it's such a blessing that we're not letting this be a missed opportunity.
Right.
Yeah, that we're taking advantage of it. We don't, we have adult children, as well, but I reach out to my granddaughter, pretty frequently, and I'm starting to reach out to, our kids from Sunday school just to let them know we're thinking about it. We're working, our Christian education department is working on a virtual Bible school, vacation Bible school, just, because we want to, even if we can't be under the same roof, we are still a part of the same family. So with that, family, let's talk about Pretty.
Oh, can I start?
Let's
go.
I have a lipstick, y'all.
I noticed that.
And let me tell you, I have to tell you about my lipstick. My lipstick is the CoverGirl lip stain, so it doesn't come off. So all my girlfriends talked about me, and they said I need to wear lipstick, including you, Sister Kinette, and you, Sister Monica. Y'all talked about me, said I need to wear lipstick. So what I did.
Suggestions in love. Sister Monica, weren't those suggestions in love?
They were always in love. Stacey
okay, I'll accept that.
We're here to build you up, not break you down, Stacey. We're here to build you up.
Okay, I accept that. So I went and I bought the CoverGirl lip stain because I don't have to worry about it once I put it on. So it stays on. It doesn't get on your cup.
How long does it last?
24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Get out of here. So
no.
Taking that off. Okay.
Oh, I don't have to take it off. It'll come off in the morning at some point when I wash my face in the morning. But even with washing your face at nighttime before you go to bed and all that kind of stuff, it still does not come off. It stays on for about 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is the only time I get to wear lipstick because I am in the office. So people only see this part of me all day. So, I don't wear any lipstick because it just basically gets stuck on the mask. So, so this is a great opportunity.
Well, you need to go get you some CoverGirl. Girl, won't be on your mask or anything.
There you go.
Just be on your lips.
There you go. A play for CoverGirl.
Well, I don't know about your makeup budget, but my makeup budget is quite well right now during C19. I am not having to wear makeup, lipstick, or anything on all of my WebExes. And I'm on WebExes typically from 10 to 4, but I think since everyone's in this quarantine mode, people are more relaxed. Definitely we're not dressing up. We're not trying to be camera ready. There are days where literally I am in a ball cap and a ponytail and literally engaged with internal task meetings and activities. So what I do love about COVID-19 is that you can take care of your skin. You can take care of yourself and not have to wear makeup, which is
I think that is the point. My makeup is lasting so much longer. My makeup, before is asking me, hey, are you still there? My makeup is lasting, much longer, which is nice. Not that I was wearing that much anyway, but the little bit I'm wearing is lasting, So that's kind of nice and then it just shows you, maybe I didn't really need all of that,
Absolutely. It's all about the natural look and trying to really just be your best self. right? And be healthy
Yeah.
and well. We talked a lot about.
We also have to support our. What you say?
I said we talked about healthy and wellness and meditating. So I think that's really what it's all about, taking care of yourself.
No, I think you're right. And we talked about the outside now, but we have to talk about what we do on the inside, because otherwise our outside's not going to look right.
Hello.
Honey, can you bring me a piece of fried chicken?
Really? What's up with the healthy snacks, Stacy?
Everything in moderation.
I was thinking Taste of Ward.
Now you got
fried chicken.
Okay.
So somebody out there has to make some fried chicken for this Taste of Ward.
Absolutely. Well, for those of you that don't know about Taste Award, it's a regional cook-off challenge that we've had here at Ward AME for the last few years. And as a chairperson, I am excited to have Taste Award as potentially one of our first comeback opportunities, fellowship opportunities with Ward AME. So we wanted to make sure that you are aware of it. It's out there. I'm working with a team of captains and 6 different regional locations. And we're really talking about great tasting food. So any of those East Coast people that love Boston and want some of those crab cakes, that's what I'm interested in. Or Stacey, what are some of your favorite foods aside from fried chicken?
Fried chicken that's smothered. Fried chicken that's on between 2 pieces of wheat bread that are buttered.
Oh my!
Fried chicken with some pickles.
So after you eat that great meal, how much exercise are you gonna have to do to burn all of that off?
Well, they say sleeping burns calories. I'm going to sleep.
But you're gonna live a little bit more sleep than that. Exercise definitely with all that chicken, but that's exciting. So that's the kind of food that we're gonna have at the Taste Award. Some great tasting soul food, some wonderful food from across all the various regions and areas, and it's gonna be an awesome fellowship for all of our ward members as well as members across the community, a Christian community, to come out and fellowship. So what a day. We can't wait till the opportunity to be able to have a Taste Award. So stay tuned. If you're interested in joining the team and being a part of it, send me a quick email if you will. We'd love to have you join us.
What's your email address?
It's mlhwarren@yahoo.com.
And if you can't remember that, you can always call the church office.
Absolutely.
So that's great. We have something to look forward to. But I think the other thing, one other blessing that's come out of this is I have engaged and I have a regular exercise routine now because I'm not moving around at work.
So what are you doing?
We have our floor. We have probably about 35 of us. So there's maybe 5 of us, maybe 8 on a good day. So yeah, I mean, you're not really moving around that much. So I have been participating in a regular exercise routine. So which is good. So that's one thing that's come out of. So I definitely know that I will be physically healthier, coming out of that. So I can have some of that fried chicken you keep talking about, Stacey.
Amen. And Jocelyn mentioned some West Indian curry, girl. That's what she said, girl.
Good. Oh, that sounds good. But also we're adding this year is we're adding an international segment to the Taste Award. Want to make sure that we encourage all of that authentic cooking. So that will also be part of it.
So I need to take a screenshot of all of these comments about these people talking about this food, Sister Monica, so you can reach out to them and have them cook this food and we can get back in our building.
Okay.
Yeah, that is great. So we are coming almost to an end. We've got our last segment. We've got probably roughly, we're coming towards the end. We've got maybe about 6 more minutes. So I wanted to talk a little bit about positivity. So, affirmations. Are there any affirmations that anyone feels that they would like to share with our group and everyone in streaming land?
Well,
Okay, too late. No.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Never mind.
No.
But one of the affirmations that I was saying all year long, besides what I say to my children, but what I say to myself is a scripture, and it's the joy of the Lord is my strength. And just realizing that if you have the joy of the Lord within you, then you always have strength. Like, that's your strength. That's where your strength comes from. And you can't be down and out if you have joy. You can't be weary or sad if you have joy. All you can do is just be joyful in the Lord. And that gives you strength to overcome any obstacle that you're faced with, because God never gives you more than you can handle. And he always provides you with a way out of whatever you get into. So that's why even with this crisis, we know that there's a way out, because God never gives us anything that he doesn't provide a way out for us. So the joy of the Lord is my strength. Just remembering that and saying that anytime that I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed or anxious or beginning to worry, just remembering that if I have joy, I have strength and I'm able to overcome anything.
Amen.
Love that. That's awesome. Well, I have a simple verse that I love, and I've used it for many, many years, and I've taught my girls. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. And that is the backbone, and that is my foundation of how I live my life each and every day. To your point, that removes anxiety, that removes that I can't do attitude, and that helps me in my day-to-day, whether that's work, play, or just, being a risk taker. So with that, with God by my side, there's nothing that I can't accomplish in it. And I believe that wholeheartedly.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Well, I have to, before I tell you what my affirmations are, I have to respond to Rosalind Jones, who asked what was in our cups. I am drinking iced tea because I'm trying to keep the hot flashes down so I'm not shiny. So I am drinking iced tea this evening. So just to let you know, we're all drinking tea. It's just a matter of what type of tea. There's her. Now you can see, it's like proof of life. You can see all of our mugs, and we have told you what is in our mugs. So self-identify. What type of tea are you drinking?
Refresher Mint Tazo tea.
All right.
Tazo.
I do. I love Tazo.
I have Tazo Wild Sweet Orange, which is one of my favorites.
I have their iced tea from Tazo with the Starbucks one, which is the blueberry hibiscus something.
Oh, that sounds good.
It is. It's tasty. It's not very sweet either. So when I was looking for because I don't like sweet. So when I was looking for affirmations, I saw, I don't know if you guys knew, Essence had a virtual summit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they had a virtual summit, and they had one part that I was really like. They had 7 powerful self-affirmations you can repeat to help yourself through times of crisis. And it's actually, if you go on the Essence website under their wellness tab, you'll see that. So I'd like to end our show with reading these 7 affirmations. So the first one is, I am not powerless in this season. The second one is, I may not be able to end this pandemic, but I can calm the storm in my mind.
Yeah.
I have already survived 100% of my worst days in my life up to this moment, which that one was really
I like that one. Yeah.
Our memories are gifts that show us life, even in toughest times, is worth living. And I really thought about that one with our suicide rate going up so high.
Sure.
I have the power to speak life over myself. I make a choice of how I will face each day. I will face it by reclaiming my power in this moment. And the last one, I can face this moment with all the fortitude and strength that I have earned over this years. And I like that one. I just wish that they would have said with what the Lord has given us, but I'm sure they were trying to reach all the audiences because with that. And with that,
we know that's the truth, though.
Yes, we do. You're right. You're right. So I want to take a moment to thank our special sister this evening, Monica Warren, for joining us. Thank you, Sister Stacy. So we will see you next time. We want you to be encouraged and encourage love. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you and good night. And we will see you next time. Thank you so much.
Night.